I've been seeing so many people moving on to fall already, but I'm not ready. It's still summer. I feel like summer here is so hot that I don't go outside enough. It's cooled off a little bit. We've had some cooler days. We're gonna have another 90-degree day, but the weather outside is now tolerable. And this is my kind of summer and I want to celebrate it. So to do that, I'm going to be reading a couple last books off of my summer TBR. I went back and watched my summer TBR and I had 4 books that I haven't read yet. 2 of them I just can't be bothered with right now. So the other 2 books are what I'm going to be reading in this video. And then I also just want to enjoy summer. So I want to spend another day at the pool before it closes. I want to go get ice cream. I have an outdoor concert that I'm going to. So things like that. Enjoying summer for just a little bit longer. But here are the books I'm going to be reading. Off of my summer TBR, I have 2 very, very different books that I have left to read. One of them is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, author of Daisy Jones and the Six, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, an author that I've given 5 stars to multiple times. This book follows a woman in the 1980s space program, and it is a romance. So I'm excited to read this. Not sure this is exactly what I'm in the mood for reading right now, but it was on my summer TBR. I want to give it a chance. It's an author that I love, so I'm going to be picking up this one. And then on the very opposite end of the spectrum in many ways is The Folding Knife by KJ Parker. I have a hard time describing it because it's a fantasy, I think, but there's no magic. So it's just a different world that we're reading from. Is that what fantasy is if there's no magic? Sorry if that's a dumb question, but I think people have been calling it literary fantasy. I don't know. This book follows a man and his rise and fall as like an emperor. And he's talking about the greatest mistake he's ever made. Listen, I watched a whole video about what this book is about, like non-spoiler, and I still can't tell you what it's about. I'm excited to read it. It's an author that I've read before, so I've read a handful of KJ Parker novellas. I wanted to read a longer book by this author. I feel like I'll love it. I feel like it's gonna be a masterpiece work of art because that's just what I've read from KJ Parker so far. I can imagine that this is gonna be incredible, but these are the books that I'm reading. They're very opposite ends of the spectrum, but I think they're both going to be an excellent time. They're both by authors that I've given 5 stars, and I'm excited to read them. I'm going to go enjoy summer. I hope you're still enjoying your summer, or if you already moved on to fall, that's fine too. I'll see you in fall in a couple of weeks, but let's get to reading. I was recently sick, and I'm still taking medicine to like help me breathe at night and stop coughing, but I'm mostly over it. I thought while I was sick I would make chicken noodle soup for myself, which obviously, bad idea. But I don't want the ingredients to go to waste, so that's what I'm making now. And this is the first time I'm cooking in my kitchen, like a proper meal, besides like boiling something in the month that I lived here. So I could definitely use some vegetables in my life, and also to cook at home. My air fryer and my microwave have been working hard, but finally using the stove.
The longest-serving flight director at NASA and author of Shuttle Houston.
This apartment will be the end of me. I can't get it together, but that's later's problem. I'm now on page 50 of Atmosphere, and it's about Joan. She's a scientist in the 1980s. We're getting like the first introduction of women into the NASA space program. She gets invited to train to become an astronaut. She's so excited. It's her dream. She loves the sky. Is she an astronomer? Maybe, I think. And we're getting introduced to her group, the people who are in training with her, people who become her friends. But also at the beginning we see her as an already established astronaut and a tragedy happening during a space mission. So that's an interesting perspective to get, to know that something bad's gonna happen to her like core group. But we're getting a lot of Joan's personal life, her family life, her interesting place in the world. and her love of space. However, I kind of don't care. I kind of don't feel like reading this book, and I was thinking about putting it down, but then I talked to my sister and she said that she'll pick it up too, which will like help me get through it if I have her to talk to about it while I'm going, and like her to compete with to get it read. So I am going to keep going for now, but I'm also going to switch to reading The Folding Knife by KJ Parker tonight. I'm very excited to pick that up. That's the reading progress so far today. Also, my soup, incredible.
And I'm going to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Oh, I have seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days and I thought they'd never end. I've seen a lonely time that I could not find a friend. But I always thought I'd see you again.
My boyfriend took me to a James Taylor concert last night. I don't know what I expected, but it was a 10 out of 10. And now today, I've just been running errands, doing some things. Question for you. If someone's doing a reading vlog where they're reading multiple books, do you prefer them to talk about the books one at a time? Or do you mind if they overlap? Because I was planning on it overlapping. However, that won't be a problem in today's vlog because I decided to DNF Atmosphere. I got to page, I think 85, and I don't care. And I think I really could enjoy the book, but if I keep pushing, I'm not gonna like it. So I'm not finishing it for now, but I plan on reading it in the future when I'm in the mood for that book. But what I am in the mood for is this book, The Folding Knife, and I am 70 pages into this so far. So we are following Basso, and we follow him from a young age. We get to see, like, okay, I'm sitting on my balcony and there's a bird shouting. But we're following Basso from a young age. We get to see his relationships, like with his family, with his sister. Get to see some like milestones as he's growing up. And already I think he's 40 years old. So we sort of fast forward through his life so far. He gets put in an arranged marriage. His father owns a bank, but he's not very good at running the bank. And so Basso kind of trains with a financial expert, I don't know. And learns like the way to be successful, and he gets really, really good at it, very invested in it. And now he's running the bank. He is making good moves. He's really figured out how to like invest and make profit from predictions like about war happening or things going on in the world to know like what supply and demand will be happening. And he's like really maneuvering financially in an impressive way and like taking down competitors. It's really cool. It's really exciting. For like talking about money, it's pretty fun. And then he walks in on his wife and his brother-in-law having an affair, and he kills them both. That is in the description, not a spoiler. I guess we're gonna see his life take a turn after that. I don't know. I'm excited to keep reading. In the spirit of my summer enjoyment, I want to go to the pool. It is gonna rain though, so I don't think I'll actually get in the pool. I'll just go hang out and read my book. I'm gonna make a nice sandwich and just feel like summer for one more day. Got my Book Girl summer shirt on, and I'm using my mermaid mug. As I continue my summer enjoyment, I'm somehow 170 pages into, and it's really good. I'm almost intimidated to talk about it because there's just so much going on, but also not big changes in the world, and it's complex intentionally, and let's see what I can say. Our main character Basso now is the first citizen, which is like the ruler, the leader of this land, but he has like a parliament, a government that he's dealing with as well. So we're seeing him run a country. It is, a made up world, but it's definitely like realistic and inspired by our real world. And it's just so fascinating. So Basso is very lucky. His father was very lucky before him, and he's inherited luckiness, but it's not like magic luckiness. He just is lucky. It's interesting because he's making decisions for his country, for his people, that for him, from his perspective, it's bettering his own life, his own position, his own pockets. But he manages to make decisions that, although they benefit him, people can't see how it benefits him or how it will eventually benefit him. And it also benefits them. So he's just like making fantastic decisions. He's running the country well. He does have enemies, and he does have like political rivals and things. But it's interesting him trying to see like what the general public think of him, because he knows he's doing well, but like how are people interpreting it, or, you know, do they have a different opinion of him? So that's fun to see. And then we're also still getting bits of his very complicated relationship with his sister, because hello, he killed her husband. Even though it was in self-defense, I don't think will ever forgive him and will be out for vengeance. It's been many years since it happened, but I think she's going to get back at him. And she is very smart herself, and she knows how to manipulate him, and she knows how to make him do what she wants, because otherwise, you know, she knows the perfect consequence to dole out to him. And it's just interesting. So we're following Basso as he runs the country, as he maneuvers in war times, as he maneuvers through just things happening in the world. I'm just really waiting to see, you know, it's talking about even great men make mistakes, and this is all about he makes one mistake that I think, let's see, it says, in a lifetime of crucial decisions, he's only ever made one mistake. One mistake, though, can be enough. So I'm just like, is it a mistake I've already seen and I just don't know it was a mistake yet? Like, what's coming? I just feel like we're going to have a big, big, big build up to something. And I'm excited about seeing what that is. I'm just really enjoying this. It's not the fastest read, because I do need to focus all of my heart and soul and brain power while I'm reading it, just because I want to make sure I'm catching everything, because there's so many subtle things happening, and like the way that he's sarcastic or a different character responds to something. Like, there's little subtleties happening that I'm certain I'm not picking up on every single thing, but I'm picking up on a lot of it. And like, I'm laughing at this book sometimes. It's funny on occasion. I love the people that are close to him, their reactions to him, and like when they figure him out. But also I like when he realizes like truths about people around him, that he, you know, as smart and as knowledgeable as he is, he doesn't know everything. I don't know, honestly, what I'll be able to say to you for the rest of this, but I'll definitely let you know my reaction to things that happen. Yeah, for today's summer activity though, besides the mermaid tea, I'm gonna go, I actually have to pick up my pottery. I made a pottery dish of some sort, and I then went back a few weeks later and painted it, and now it's done with its final kiln firing, and I'm gonna go pick it up. It's very far away. This is not on audio, so I can't listen to this, but while I'm out, I think I'm gonna go sit outside and eat ice cream at some point, because that just sounds like so much fun.
Staring at the tapestry above the bed you gave me. I still haven't washed my sheets, 'cause I still smell you in the bed you used to rest your head on. How the hell am I supposed to see? Can we both face our demons? Can we change like the seasons?
I just got out of my haircut, and now I'm gonna go sit in this little green area with my blanket and my book and my Cowfish, which is a place that combines the best things about burgers and sushi. I'm gonna get a bento box and enjoy my book and the weather, because it's really nice outside. It's gonna get close to 90 degrees later this week, so I'm gonna enjoy this 74-degree day and keep reading. I'm currently on page 300. I feel like I've been reading, I was putting in hard work, reading as much as I could, but this book is dense However, I'm still very much enjoying it. I'm so entertained reading about this fictional country and the man who's running it. Basso reminds me of like a House character where he's very selfish and dry and unfeeling, but he loves to solve a puzzle. He is crafty and so smart, but he makes a lot of decisions that work in his interests, and they just happen to also benefit the country. So I'm still so curious about this big mistake that he made. I'm very not distracted, but I'm very intrigued and trying to figure it out. Like, did he already make the mistake, or have I not seen the mistake yet? Am I gonna know when this mistake happens? Listen, I'm a millennial. I don't know if I can do the center part. It's just a very strange reading experience because I don't have anything like straightforward plot wise to talk to you about. Like, I could tell you about, you know, potential wars that happened, or when invaders came, or when a sickness came to town and how Basso like figured out what to do. But I don't know. That's the surprise of the book, and also might be dry to talk to you about. So I'm loving it. I have 140 pages left, I think. I'm going to try my best to read as much as I can this evening, starting with my reading session here. I finished The Folding Knife last night. I really enjoyed the rest of the book, but I was enjoying it less than I enjoyed the rest of the book. So I felt like by the end, we were getting a little less interaction with Basso and his thoughts, and there was a point where like we weren't even seeing him, we were just seeing other people around him, and I wanted more interaction with him during like this crazy stuff that was going on. And then there's a big portion that was told in letters. It's just the format changed, and I enjoyed it, just not as much. So there's this big thing that's going on at the end, and we're like waiting to see how it turns out. There's a lot of stuff that happened, but I don't think that the payoff was quite what I was looking for. And then the very end had like a fun ending, like just rolling my eyes at Basso, but it just wasn't as big of a payoff as I was hoping for. So I really enjoyed it, but I'm giving it 4 stars. I really loved the reading experience of this. It's kind of a dense book. It took a bit more effort than a lot of books I usually read, which I really enjoyed about it and was fun to me. And also, if you don't know, KJ Parker is, I think, the author that I have the most unread books from on my physical TBR shelf. So it was exciting to get one off of my TBR. When I first read one of his novellas and fell in love, I went on an absolute buying spree and had this big stack of big books waiting for me. So glad I kind of pulled the band-aid off that, because now I feel excited to pick up more of his full-length novels and not just his novellas. To wrap up the vlog, I really only read this book, and I read maybe a quarter of Atmosphere. If you read Atmosphere, do you love it? Do you think it's worth picking back up? It's gonna be on the back burner for now. I'm not like getting rid of it, but I'm definitely not picking it back up anytime soon until I like am in the mood for it, ready for an astronaut romance. So now that I've taken 2 more books off of my summer TBR, it's almost time to start with the fall reading, the fall content. Let me know what fall related videos you're interested in seeing, and I'll get to work on those. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.